Morning guys, Thunder E here and welcome to the Division beta. So the beta was available this past weekend. It was really packed. It took me a while to actually get into the beta, but here it is. Now the Division is a game we've been waiting for quite a while from Ubisoft. They promised a lot of things in the game. We got to see some of it in this beta, and this is actually, I played this on PC, but I was using the Xbox controller, just to let you guys know. Now graphically, you can amp up the graphics to whatever your system specs are. So I'm using Board Prime, which means I maxed out everything possible within the game. In terms of the graphical quality and what it looks like, the game looks pretty good. I think it still could be better, but again, this is a beta, so there's no complaints there. You can customize your characters, but here is the landing page, a landing zone within the game. First thing you can go to is you can see a couple of things there. You saw that bar, that's actually your health bar right there, and you can go in and check out a couple of things here. This is when you hit the pause button or the menu button. This gives you your menu options in the game. There are a couple of things you can see there, but as you run through, you can see your health bar, you can see the amount of health packs you have. Now the developers call this a cover action RPG, so which means it's a third person viewed game where you use a lot of cover action, moving from cover to cover as you engage opponents, and you've got RPG elements in there. What that means is that you have to spend time developing your character, skill points, and things like that. And here's a vendor shop here where you can buy gear, and that is part of the RPG elements. Of course, I have no cash at this point, but it allows you to go ahead and buy better gear, better armaments, better protection. This game, the storyline is based on the fact that there's a virus, so of course you better need things like that because you might be entering zones that might be infected. Now the other aspect to the game is that this is a single player game with open RPG elements, which means you can add players to your party as you move forward. So you go to group management, you can see nearby agents, people who are around, and you can invite them to your group, or you can also add friends. Now I'm not sure if you also have the ability to get, you can see there's also a matching option there to match people with the same skill set, but I'm not sure if you can fight against rival agents. Now this is your main menu hub. Like I mentioned, there's Intel, group management, so on and so forth. Intel was locked during the beta. Group management, of course, is what we just saw with managing different agents or friends to your party. Then you also do have the map, which can also be triggered with the view button on the Xbox controller that allows you to see the whole map of the area. This thing takes place in New York City. A map so far is pretty accurate in terms of streets. Some things, of course, are changed and different, but it's accurate enough that you get a good idea that feels like New York City. The next up is news. It brings you news from the game. Inventory allows you to go in and manage your inventory from weapons, secondary weapons, tertiary weapons, things like that. And that's one thing to know about the game is that you carry 3 weapons. You have 3 weapon set. You have assault rifle, semi-automatic, as well as a pistol. So you can cycle through those kind of weaponry within the game. But again, you can manage that within your inventory and upgrade different weapon sets, gear, and things like that, so that your character has the best equipment as you move forward. It's really easy, and I like that aspect about it. It's not too complicated, even though this is an RPG, according to the developers. So I like that they've made it simple enough and easy to access for a lot of players. Someone like me who doesn't like RPGs, I was okay with it and enjoyed the sense of just upgrading my character within the game. So those things are nice there. Now you've got abilities. Abilities include medic as well as tech and security, you can actually, so far I only have like a pulse grenade, but you can actually replace those things and equip what you're looking for as you move forward. So you might want to use a ballistic shield at some parts of the game where it might be heavier, slow you down. So you get all those kind of things, and that makes it quite sensible. Now the map, of course, you can set different missions or accept missions as you move along. And here's a mission that I accepted here on my way. I think this is on 34th and 8th in New York City. But as I mentioned, it's a cover shooter, so to get into cover on the Xbox, or at least using the Xbox controller, is the A button. Of course, right trigger is to shoot, left trigger is to zoom in, and you can also roll out actually, but I didn't do that here. I'm going to take out this guy and move forward. Now the other thing to note is that with the character, though, there's a lot of visual references to how things affect the character on screen. For instance, you can see a grenade coming in. I'm going to actually stay there. This is a smoke bomb, and you can see the visual representation of the haziness of the character, which is actually pretty cool. It makes it harder for you to aim and shoot, but also gives you a good indication of why smoke bombs actually are effective while gaming. It's not just a matter of just smoke and then you running through, but it's actually visually impairs you as you play. So I'm going to take out that guy and I'm going to run to the right. Now you can move from cover to cover by basically looking for your next cover point and hitting the A button to actually move there. And then of course, if you want to climb onto something, the B button works for that. So as I move to this cover point and I actually move up there, I can actually climb up and then take out this guy right here and move on with my gameplay elements. So gameplay mechanics in this game are actually really good, well polished. They seem fluid enough, especially since it's a cover-based shooter. Didn't feel wonky or hard to move from cover to cover. That's one thing that you find with most cover-based shooters. It becomes harder to move from one cover point to another. You can of course walk around walls and things like that. But overall, I enjoyed the gameplay. I felt that the game was pretty polished, and I'm excited to see what happens when the game actually hits in March. I think a lot of people will like it, but then again, you still have to do a lot of weapons upgrades to get the right kind of weapon that matches you. I like the fact that this is a game that you can play with friends. You can have a party and you can actually just add people to your party and experience a fun gameplay environment. Some of the other things they mentioned when this game was first launched, talking about people using tablets and coming in with drones. We didn't see much of that with the beta, but hopefully that's there with the full game. So you guys, if you have any questions or any comments, let us know. What are your thoughts about the Division beta if you played it? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and always enjoy your entertainment.